After a grueling day at the office, I dragged myself home, weary and craving the solace of a hot meal and a welcoming atmosphere. Instead, when I gently asked my wife if dinner was ready, she fixed me with an icy stare and snapped, "You're an adult. Cook your own meal. I'm not your housekeeper." Her sharp words struck deeper than I anticipated. It wasn't merely about the absence of food. It felt like a dismissal of my worth, as if I held no value in our shared space. I stood there, swallowing my irritation, my body heavy from the extra hours I'd put in to keep our finances afloat. Yet here I was being told I was alone in this. To me, marriage had always meant a shared journey, a mutual lifting of burdens. But in that moment we felt like strangers coexisting under one roof. Rather than sparking a confrontation, I retreated to the kitchen and prepared a modest meal for myself. She didn't join me, instead remaining on the couch, absorbed in her phone. I tried to push down the pang in my heart, but the growing distance between us gnawed at me. Where once there was affection and closeness, now only a chilly void remained. That night, I lay sleepless, wrestling with thoughts of our fading connection. This wasn't the first time she'd brushed me off so coldly. Over recent months, her demeanor had grown increasingly distant. She no longer greeted me with a smile or showed interest in my day. I racked my brain, questioning what I might have done to cause this, or whether she even wanted me in her life anymore. The following morning, I mustered the courage to ask if she was dissatisfied with me or our marriage. With a shrug, she replied, "I'm tired of feeling like your servant. You're capable of managing on your own." Her words cut, laced with a bitterness I hadn't fully noticed before. Though I wanted to argue, I simply nodded, my heart sinking as I left for work. As days stretched into weeks, the strain between us only deepened. I began handling my own cooking, cleaning, and meals in solitude, as if I were living with a roommate rather than a spouse. I longed for the joy we once shared, the small gestures of care, the sense of being cherished. One evening, arriving home earlier than usual, I overheard her on the phone with a friend, venting that I was dull, predictable, and that she felt confined in our life together. Her words shattered me, rendering invisible all the sacrifices I'd made for our partnership. When she caught sight of me standing there, she froze but offered no apology. Instead, she said bluntly, "You heard me. I'm unhappy and I haven't been for a long time." My chest tightened, but I managed to ask, "If that's true, why stay?" Her silence was deafening, revealing a truth I'd been avoiding. Her love for me had faded, perhaps long ago. Her coldness wasn't mere frustration, it was disconnection. I realized I'd been clinging to a version of her that no longer existed. That night, I packed a small bag and checked into a hotel, needing space to clear my mind and weigh whether our marriage could be salvaged. I had poured my devotion, energy, and heart into us, only to be treated as a burden. That wasn't the life I envisioned. The next day, I penned a letter to her, pouring out my feelings. I explained that marriage, to me, was about teamwork, not servitude, and that I'd never seen her as a housekeeper. I only craved love and companionship. I concluded by saying that if she no longer wanted this union, I was prepared to release it. When she read my words, she didn't protest or shed tears. She simply said, "Maybe this is for the best." Her response solidified my resolve. I filed for divorce, choosing my own peace over enduring her indifference. Walking away from someone I had loved so deeply was agonizing, but I came to see that love without respect or care is hollow. Her words, "I'm not your housekeeper," had been the first crack in the facade, exposing a truth that, while painful, ultimately freed me to seek a life filled with warmth and mutual respect. Months after the divorce, I began piecing my life back together. I focused on personal growth, poured energy into my work, and found joy in small moments. Then one evening, my ex-wife called unexpectedly, her voice trembling. "I didn't realize what I had until it was gone," she said. "I thought you were just demanding, but all you wanted was love. I regret pushing you away." I listened in silence, but her words arrived too late. The love I'd once held for her had been buried beneath the weight of her neglect and coldness. She confessed she missed the stability, care, and loyalty I'd offered, realizing no one else had treated her with such devotion. For the first time, she understood I hadn't been asking for a servant, but a partner. I responded calmly. I wish you peace, but I can't return to that life. Her regret was genuine, but it was hers to bear. I had moved forward, choosing myself and a future where love and respect could flourish.